Okay, everybody, we're going to do some more record album looking at. And here's the dudes from the last video. And they don't want to stand up. Okay, they do want to stand up. They made a liar out of me. Okay, these are some new records I got in the mail and at fabulous record stores in the Detroit area. Here we go. Okay, not this one. I'm not going to show you that first one because I might do an on-location video for it. The only problem is that location's about an hour and a half away. Well, with the way I drive, 2 hours away. So I'm debating on what to do with that thing as far as putting it on the channel because I do live within 100 miles of where that thing was recorded. And it's a record that's popular all over the world. So, I don't know. It's a 2-hour drive. I may have to do that in the spring on a day when it's not raining because right now it snowed and then the snow turned to ice. So it's very, very cold and snowy outside, which is fine with me. I can handle it. Anyway, let's get into these record albums. The first one, and yeah, this one I got at Flipside Records. This wasn't a delivery in the mail. This was from Flipside Records in Clawson, Michigan. Not Detroit. I know, I went somewhere other than Detroit. It's amazing. This is Suicide, a band from the 70s and 80s. And they were part of the CBGB's thing. And I think this release is from 1975 or something like that, or 1976. And this thing is kind of noisy. It's made with organs, and it's not a rock and roll record. It's like an experimental noise art type thing. And I don't mind it. I think it's pretty good. And it came with some little bits like the story of the band on this big sheet of paper. And the band is just 2 guys. But it tells all about how they got started and how they came to be. And it also came with this little, I guess, flat with nothing really new in the form of artwork, just that. Okay, here we go. This one is Pumpkin Bleach, a tribute to Nirvana. And the bands doing Nirvana. Songs on this are The Vibrators, The Blanks 77, UK Subs, Agent Orange, Total Chaos, D.D. Ramone, Vice Squad, Burning Brides, Flipper, DOA, Dr. No, and ICU. And this thing wasn't cheap. They wanted about $23 for it. I expected to pay less. Anyway, that's what it looks like. And it's a tribute to Nirvana. Doesn't come with any bits like that Suicide record did. Now, is this thing any good? It's worth $15. It's not worth 20 or more. Just worth 15. That's really all I got to say about this thing. I don't mind it. It's kind of fun to listen to. But does this thing break any new ground? No. It's just a bunch of great bands doing Nirvana songs. And the original Nirvana versions sound better than what they're doing. Anyway, here we go. I picked this up. This is Watch It Sucker by LaWanda Page. And boy, is this an adult record. Lots of foul language and adult themes on this record by Ann Esther from Sanford and Son. Oh, better show the sun. Okay, there you go. Geez, he really wants to lay down. Anyway, this is just her stand-up act, recorded probably at a nightclub somewhere in Hollywood. And it's LaWanda Page, Watch It Sucker, and she's the lady that played Ann Astor on Sanford and Son. All right, this is the best of the B-52s. And this is a best of the first two records, the Yellow Jacket record and the Red Jacket record. And this thing is the best. It reminds you of how weird and kind of screamy the B-52s were. And the standout song on this for me is Devil in My Car. That is a punk rock song. So you might want to check this out, Best of the B-52s. Just for the song Devil in My Car. And this, no, it doesn't come with anything. All right, let's get into this baby. This is the Cramps, Trash is Neat, the band that time forgot. And what this thing is pieces of bootleg recordings from the Cramps' early days. Songs like Weekend on Mars, Rocket in My Pocket, Everybody's Moving, Problem Child, Band That Time Forgot, Louie Louie. The version of Louie Louie on this is superior to the Black Flag one. Lux just really gets into it. Other songs, Oh Ma Liddy, Hungry, The Lowdown, 5 Years Ahead of My Time, and the recordings for each individual songs. Each individual song on this thing, as far as quality goes, it varies from, really good to just good. What makes this thing different is in between the songs, tightly fit in between the tracks, are recordings of the advertisements that you would hear in the movie theater for like B movies that are like scary, horror movies, exploitation movies, and you get to hear the sound bites from those advertisements in between the songs on this thing, and you'd think that would distract or kind of ruin the record. It doesn't. It makes the record even better. Some of the sound bites on this album are out of sight, and it makes the album about, 40 minutes long. So this is definitely worth your money. It's available through Bomp Records, and I can't say enough good things about this Cramps release. Even though I kind of did just stop saying good things about it. Anyway, this next one is a Butthole Surfers record. It pertains to this little Butthole Surfers record. This one is, I guess, a recording of the John Peel Show from 1988. I guess the John Peel Show was a radio program from England. And I guess when bands went on tour, he'd invite them into the studio and they'd record some stuff and then put it out on a record. This is more of the John Peel record, recording, I guess, live? I'm not sure. Some of it sounds live, some of it sounds like it was in a studio. It sounds great. The quality on this album is wonderful. And the A side of this is the same songs as this. But they're not. They're different. It's like these are a different take of those three songs on that. So if you have that little 7-inch, don't think that you shouldn't get this thing just because side 1 is the same tracks as on the 7-inch. They're considerably different. And this is just a wonderful record from Vatican Radio Records. Here is the jacket, which the front of it is, it's not very inventive. Here's the back, shows the band live, and the songs on side A are Blind Man, Edgar, and Nene. Side B, Concubine, 100 Million People Dead, two-parter, Suicide, and the fabulous Gary Floyd. But on the vinyl, Suicide is the last song, and Gary Floyd is the second to the last song. And my only complaint with this thing is at the end of the song Suicide, it just kind of cuts off. And it makes you think Gibby probably said something that you're missing out on because they cut it short. And then the record ends. Barring that, this is a great Butthole Surfers record. Definitely, oh, you know what? I know where you can get this thing. The Groovy Graveyard record store from New Jersey. They only want $25 for this thing. And I paid, I think, $27 or $28 for it from a Discogs seller in Colorado. But if you go to Groovy Graveyard in New Jersey, they got it for $25 and it's definitely worth that. Okay, here are a couple of records that the Devo Obsesso Michael guy told me to pick up. Here's what the vinyl looks like, and it's the White Mice. And this is very, very noisy. It's like noise thrash metal. And it kind of sounds like Weed Eater if the members of Weed Eater were completely out of their minds. Yeah, just they lost control. They're not sane anymore. They're just crazy. And that's what this thing sounds like. And there's another one. Since they were cheap, I picked them up. It's kind of a gross album cover. And it's the White Mice, so if you're into noise that's radical and crazy, the White Mice just might be for you. I know I dig them. Alrighty. How many more? Oh geez, I think this is it. Come to the end of the line. This I got in the mail, and it's Screamin' Jay Hawkins, What That Is. And this is not a rock and roll record. This is like a crazy, insane rhythm and blues record. It's even when I sped it up, it's still not really rock and roll. It's rhythm and blues, but it's Screamin' Jay Hawkins singing rhythm and blues, and this thing is wonderful. It's on Third Man Records. Easy to get because I think it just came out. Anyway, this is my first Screamin' Jay Hawkins record, and I got to say, it's really good. The way he sings, you got to hear it to believe it. Okay, and this is going to be a Vinyl Richie show-off. Meaning, Vinyl Richie from Bakersfield, California, really likes this record. And it's a compilation of Detroit bands called End of Night. And I'm showing my copy of it just to show off because I got this version. And I bought this thing in Detroit. Okay, that's it. Those are my new records. I will be getting a bunch more. I still have some coming in from Europe that, oh geez, that's going to take a while. But anyway, those are some of the new records. And let me show this one more time. I'm amazed by how they made the sound bites in between the songs work to where they're just as entertaining as the songs themselves. Wonderful release. All right, good night.